Hi friends, it's Sarah, the owner and maker behind Multifarious Nature. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are a new viewer, welcome. Make sure that I'm recording. Yes. If you're a new viewer, welcome. And if you're a returning viewer, a big welcome back. Glad you guys are here for another episode. I'm trying to make sure I'm in focus. I had to use light today. So if I look like I'm blinded, I really am. The light behind me, or behind you, is quite bright. All right. Hopefully you guys will be able to hear me okay. And hopefully I'm not yelling anymore. I decided to use a different microphone cover. So hopefully that'll make it a little more soft sounding. I hope. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. Love to hear what you're up to, what you're making. Definitely feel free to make a note in the comments below. Always excited to hear from you guys. I'm going to talk about Advents first. So the first of the Advents have been shipped out, you guys. I'm so excited. So the first of the Advents have been shipped. I have very few still in stock. So if you do want to snag one and spin along with the rest of us starting December 1st, definitely make sure you run on over to the shop, multifariousnature.com. And I'll include a direct link in the notes section below so that you'll be able to be directed straight to the Advent. Because I don't want you guys to miss out, and it's a lot of fun. It's so much fun. Advent season is one of my favorite time of year for spiritual reasons, but also because it's just a beautiful time to reflect and just look inward, and it's really nice. So I hope you guys will also partake. If you do want to, definitely make sure I'm so blinded by that light. That song is definitely ringing true right now. It's so bad. Okay, sorry, I'm not used to staring at a light here, and I have astigmatism, so my eyes get very distracted by the light. So hopefully everything doesn't get blasted out. Anyway, my dog's gonna tell you her 2 cents. But yeah, also the Advent end of things. You want to make sure you order it sooner rather than later. Also, if you want to be able to get it by December 1st, because that's the tricky part, right? We've got Thanksgiving coming up here in the United States. So if you want to receive it before December 1st, you really need to get that ordered as soon as possible. I'm really saying, like, this week was like the goal, and then next week it would kind of be you're getting tight, because you never know. Holiday shipping can really throw things off, so definitely make sure you do that. All right, so the first work in progress that I did, no finished objects, but I do a work in progress. First one is my Mystery Musicale by Stephen West of West Knits. And let me see if I can show you guys this. It's mid-row, but I'm now starting section 2. So this is the second clue, and it's really pretty. It's a lot of fun, and you kind of choose your own adventure. You get to choose which color goes where. You're not really told which color. It's totally up to you. And then you stick with that order. So I've only done the first 2 colors. Well, 3 includes, so the one that repeats, which is the fun eyelet area here. And then I'm just going to be starting to use my Hunter's Moon colorway here. So there's your first, and now into the second clue. I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. You can probably see the colors a lot better now that I have my bright light on. I'm blinded, but you guys can see the colors, so that's a good thing. So again, this is Hunter's Moon. The very vibrant color here is Autumn Kiss. That's my contrast. And then we have Nightshade, and this is all a bunch of Hocus Pocus, which is super fun. So a lot of fun. You can see the Hocus. It's all a bunch of Hocus Pocus colorway. So much better on here where I've knit up a chunk of it versus the area down here where it's very little. So it's a lot harder to see the fun speckling and everything. It's a really fun pattern. I'm definitely enjoying it. And it's getting less complicated now, which is nice. So I can easily work on it while we're watching TV and things like that. Where before I tried doing that and I would make silly mistakes because it was just, this portion, this first section is pretty intricate. It's not hard, it's just intricate. So you really need to pay attention to what you're doing. But I definitely would recommend it for an adventurous beginner. I wouldn't say this would be an excellent beginner's pattern, but if you're an adventurous beginner, I think you could do it. I really do. You just have to make sure you pay attention to what you're doing. That's for sure. Okay, and then my other work in progress is using, plutolopi, and it is The Weekender Crew by Andrea Mowry. I'm really enjoying that as well. So I've been working on this on my lunch breaks. It's a lot of fun. Oops. Let's see if I can get this here. So this is the wrong side that is facing you guys, but here is the right side. You'll be able to see a lot of this better. I'm going to turn it right side out now. It's just going to be so much easier for you to see because the light's nice and bright. So you can see this really fun slip stitch detail that goes down the middle of the front and the middle of the back. It's going to be a boxy sweater, and it's just a lot of fun. I did not make the ribbing portion on the bottom. I did not make it longer in the back than the front. I think the pattern called for that. I didn't, just literally because I wasn't paying attention. And then I just decided to keep it instead of ripping it out because it is a bottom-up sweater. So I just decided to stick with it. I am now knitting the front portion. So you split the stitches from the back are currently on hold, and then I have the front. It's a fun construction, and just knitting back and forth with this. So now I am doing knitting and purling, where the main body is just knitting, which is nice because you're doing it backwards. Like I said, you're knitting the wrong side facing you, but I don't mind doing purling because I do what's called combination knitting, is my understanding. So I do like Eastern and Western style knitting. So I think it's, so for my like stockinette stitch, I do that, or my knit stitch, I'm doing that like, I think it's Eastern style. I might be getting this wrong. And then Western style when I'm doing my purling. So the purls take up less yarn when I do it, which can affect your gauge, my understanding, but yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. It's very rustic. If you're not a big woolly wool person with the like toothiness of wool, then a plutolopi is probably not for you. This is also being held double with Old Mill yarns. It's a alpaca, merino, nylon, and I think there's something else in it. It's a nice dark chocolatey brown, and then that's being held with that beautiful burnt orange plutolopi, and it creates this really pretty heathered look. It looks like pumpkin pie to me, like a baked pumpkin pie, which I love. So I feel like this is just an excellent fall and winter sweater. So definitely not going to be something you'd wear when it's warm outside, even though, yes, wool does breathe. However, if you're getting in the 80 degrees, you're just not going to be comfortable. But yeah, enjoying that one. So working on that. Oh, I finished plying up the hand spun I was talking about last week. So my Corgi Hill farm, I had spun up, oops, I showed you guys what it looked like on the bobbins, but I actually, this came a little undone here. Bear with me as I very quickly try to skein this. This is a terrible skein job. Anyway, I did a 2-ply, and I did, let's see, how did I do this? Oh yes, I think it's called fractal spinning, where like I said, I took the braid, I divided it into 2 lengthwise, and then 1/2 of that, I divided that in half lengthwise, and then I spun them in order, and because I split the one half in half again, that one I just spun right after the first one ended, so it was like a repeat basically of the colors, and then I applied them together. So inevitably you always end up with like a little extra, and what I did is, like, this was of course the first, so you can see how beautiful that is, and the colorway is, oh, it's a BFL, so 50% BFL, 25% Rambouillet, and 25% Tussa Silk, and it's called Lucky Go Finland. So pretty. And yeah, really enjoyed spinning that a lot, actually. And then this is what the second one looked like. So about half of this is that same type of plying, and then I had a little extra on one bobbin, so I had to make a plying bracelet, and I just tied a knot to this one and kept going, just because I didn't want two small skeins. I wanted one small one and one big one. So that is the difference there. So pretty. Yeah, definitely enjoyed that spin a lot. Currently on my spinning wheel, I am working with our Shetland sheep. I'm going to show you because I took the bobbin off. I took it off because I'm doing my breed school, which is also Shetland, but their Shetland is a very, very light, I want to say it's a light gray. Actually, it looks very white, where our Amanita is beautiful. She's like, I think she's considered a fawn because she has very light brown in her, and a bit of a, actually, I don't think she's fawn. I don't know why this is escaping me right now. Yeah, she's really beautiful. So here is my bobbin, just so you can see. And hopefully I'll block my eyes, so that way you'll be able to see it in focus. Hopefully that will be in focus. It's really, really pretty. It's like a gray-brown kind of color. And I'm going to do this 3-ply, so I'm spinning it pretty thin. I'm doing long draw. It's my favorite with Shetland, and it's a really long staple length. And what I'm going to do is then 3-ply it, doing Navajo ply or chain plying, and hopefully that will get me semi-close to like a sport weight worsted, or sport weight DK worsted, somewhere in there. We'll see. That's my goal, because that would make really nice sweater yarn, and I'd love to make a sweater with all of our Shetlands wool in it. Initially I wanted to make one sweater per with each Shetland, which I think that's possible, but that's pretty ambitious. So I feel like if I was to spin up all of their lamb fleece, like at least enough to do a pretty colorwork sweater or something, I think that would be really fun and a lot more achievable in a semi-quick time frame versus having to spin and years go by before I can finish each sweater. So if I do one sweater, I think that would be a lot of fun. And then maybe I'll have some extra wool that I can share with you guys on the website. So I'm just messing with it first because I have to work with their first fleece. It's kind of a big deal. So that's a lot of fun. As I mentioned, I'm working with Shetland for my breed school, and the one I just finished, I think that's this one, yeah. Whoops, daisy. Here we go. This one, and I just made it a mess, but I did short forward, which I actually really enjoyed. Now, this has a much shorter staple length. This is closer to a 3-inch staple length, the roving that I got from the Woolery. So this is that. It's going to be so blasted out because, there we go. Because it's a cream color, like I said, it's basically a white sheep, and it's really, really pretty. And the short forward I actually enjoyed doing But as I mentioned, it's a much, much shorter staple length. I usually don't do short forward with my Shetlands because oh my goodness, the first fleece we let go for a whole year. And so they were like 8-9 inch staple length. Amanita, the one I'm spinning, she had the longest staple length of the fleeces, and whew, that girl can grow a fleece, let me tell you. So when we shared them this time around, we did it, I think, very end of September, I think is when we actually did it. Either very end of September or the very beginning of October. We were like right in that little area there. They have a nice little fleece right now, so they're going to be perfectly fine as these colder temperatures come, which is excellent. But I'm always paranoid about my microphone. But their fleece length, I want to say when we share them this time, is closer to about 3 to 4 inches. The babies are definitely on the shorter end, but I want to say around like 3 to 4 inches, which is a really nice, it's like a really nice length for spinning. It's like that perfect, you could kind of do long draw, you could do short forward. It's a really nice length. So yes, I've been working on that, and I'm trying to think of anything else as far as oh, I know what I want to show you guys, and I totally forgot to start my timer. I put the timer in front of me and I still forgot to do it. All right, I'm just gonna have to pay attention to my time. I hope I don't go too long. There is a fleece I want to show you. Bear with me because it's gonna probably make a little bit of noise, but it's pretty cool. All right, so this is a fleece that I got from someone who will remain nameless because she does not want to be talked about. And she doesn't really want me to say too much about this fleece in a sense of promoting it. But I think it's really fascinating, and there are other breeders out there. So that's why I'm going to talk about it. I'm pretty sure there's one in Maine. Pretty sure it's in Maine. And she has fleeces. I reached out to her, but I have not heard anything from her, so I don't know if you'll be able to get some if you wanted to try it. But really unique breed. So we're talking, the part that I was super excited about is the Wissant breed. So Wissant is a French sheep. They're one of the smallest sheep in the world, and they're teeny tiny, and they're super cute. And there's really not any purebred ones in the United States. However, they have been bringing over the semen and then inseminating the sheep that are like Shetland. So this one in particular is a Wissant, Shetland, and Soy blend. So it's really cool. It's really cool fleece because I've never worked with Wissant before, but this is definitely a like heritage breed. There's some interesting characteristics. I can see some of the Shetland, but it's also very short staple length, so that's probably more the Wissant end of things. And Soy, I believe they have slightly longer fleece, but what's interesting is depending like where on the sheep this came from, it looks a little more like each breed. Just fascinating. So I think blending it together is going to be really nice. It's super soft. Super soft. And I know the breed, I'd say breeder, but she's more, it's like part of her fascinating ecosystem thing that she's working on with the land and everything. So she doesn't really breed the sheep for the wool or anything like that, other than for use for her own. And then she's trying to replenish the earth and like the ground and soil and all of that. So it's really fascinating. I don't want to go too much into it because, like I said, she doesn't really want to sell these to a lot of people because she does not coat the sheep. She does not. This is not her thing. So, but I will say there is someone out of Washington State, not Washington. Good grief, Maine. I think she's in Maine, Vermont, somewhere on the East Coast. I would recommend maybe reaching out to her, see what she says. But this is like what these locks look like. So hopefully I'll be able to see that. They're tiny. Some of them are tiny. So it's going to be an interesting spin. Definitely a long draw situation. I've heard it's excellent for doing spindle spinning, but I'm going to use my wheel. And that's just showing you little bits of this. So the fleece is very small. Like I said, the sheep are tiny. And Shetlands are small already, but when you get the Wissant in there, they're really tiny little sheep. So the fleece is 1 pound. Well, that's going to focus for you. But yeah, really beautiful fleece. Really unique. So that's a fun one. That's just for me to play with. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because it's pretty unique. And it's not something you really can find in the United States much. It would definitely be more from France. So overseas, if you look there, you'd probably be able to get the Wissant. So that's just kind of fun little thing that I'm messing with right now. But yeah, I'd love to hear what you guys are up to and what you're working on and all that good stuff. So I hope you guys are excited now that Halloween has come and gone. We're definitely starting to lean into the cooler end of things. This coming weekend, we're supposed to get snow, which I'm not really prepared for, if I'm fully honest. I really feel like fall has just really gotten here, and I'd like to kind of hold on to that for a little while. And I feel like once it starts snowing, it just becomes winter very quickly. So hopefully will be nice. But yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else that I'm missing right now. I think that's it. Definitely, if you're still sticking around, if you're still here at the end of the video here, definitely make sure that you like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. And that way, if you hit the little bell, you'll be notified too when I post new videos. I do try to post weekly. And I definitely want to post more. Now that we have internet, I can upload videos so much faster. And I'd really like to do more with wool processing, and I'd like to show you guys more of that. I'm just trying to figure out how to do that. Now that the colder months are here, I definitely won't be washing wool, but I will be carding wool like crazy because I have a lot of wool to card that's clean. So yeah, lot of wool to card. There's not a shortage of wool, and I'm incredibly grateful. So even our sheep alone, like I said, I have their first fleece of the 3 girls, and now I have the first fleece of the 2 other girls, and then I have the second fleece for the 3 other girls. So now 8 fleeces just from our sheep alone. So I clearly need to start processing wool faster. I will get there. It's just, I do this very part-time, and it's not always the easiest thing when you work full-time as well and you have critters to take care of. So lots of things going on right now. But yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're making and staying healthy. This time of year, people are getting sick left and right. And I look forward to chatting with you soon. Take care.